So the final award is essentially what I like to refer as the overall award, and this means that essentially this customer, they're not a partner, they're a direct customer of ours. They kind of touch all of the things. So they do a lot of data. They're very innovative. You know, they've grown in terms of, like, I think they've been using our platform now for like probably close to a year. And the amount of work that we've done with them and the data and the problems we've solved, which you're going to hear a little bit later, is quite vast. And so when we went with this Lumin Award, there was really ever only one customer that we could pick. So just a little bit about them. There we go. Okay, so these guys are a pathology institute in a country outside of South Africa. And when they came to us, they were actually referred to us by a business that is here. There is some representation of the business here. I won't mention the name yet. But I think the same thing happened with them. I went there and I was like, dudes, we're brilliant. And they're like, get out of here. And then these guys were doing a tour around South Africa, and they went and did a tour at this customer, or this potential customer, and they said, well, why don't you try OQLIS? Not that they were using OQLIS. So it's the best referral. You know, someone who doesn't use our software referred us. Anyway, the guy phoned me and basically he said, listen, we want to see the software, but we're running late. We're getting on an airplane. We're not going to have time to come to your offices. Can we do a demo next week? Got on a call, did a demo. And they essentially had three big problems that they needed to solve. One was, because it's pathology data, it's incredibly sensitive. It's medical data. It's personal data. So data sovereignty was key. So they didn't want the data to leave their network, let alone the country, which it was doing. Right? The provider they were using was using, I think it's a US data center. So the data, and not just a little bit of data, vast volumes of data was having to be essentially massaged, lifted, uprooted into another data center, massaged again, and then built a report on top of it. So it was clunky, it was slow. And obviously the provider wasn't cheap because it was everything in USD. So you can imagine it was pretty costly. Into OQLIS. So again, what happened was we did the demo. They seemed to believe me. I think they couldn't see a genuine oak for a genuine oak. So anyway, they basically said, right, they also want to do a POC. And actually, I feel so straight that I suggest the POC. I say to them, we're going to do POC. So we did the POC, same thing. I think 3 weeks into the POC, they phoned us and said, we're done. This is solving all our problems. So what we were able to do, deploy OQLIS on-premise in their network, in their environment. The data, the servers aren't even public-facing, let alone there's no data going outside of their network. So we solved the data sovereignty problem. We solved the report speed issue. And then obviously we solved the cost. So those were just the three pressing issues. Fast forward, we've solved a ton more problems, which Melvin will probably talk about. Just some little bit of stats. We handle around 500 million rows of pathology data or pathology linked data daily. They're currently built and are actively using around 30 dashboards on the platform, and we report on about 4 million tests a year. I mean, it's big numbers. This is not small data we're dealing with. And then obviously we're also monitoring pretty much over 1 million requisitions around 150 different sites in the country. So what this means is solving an inventory management issue is a challenge when you have so many different sites and so many different, let's call it requisitions. I need a bit of this, I need a bit of that. And we've been able to solve that problem with them. Lastly, it's been phenomenal working with the team. Like, we love having meetings with the team. They push us. They're incredibly innovative how they try to solve their problems. We just can't get enough of these guys. Like I actually want to get on a plane and fly there and see if there's more customers in, I'll give it away, it's in Namibia. So like, I didn't actually know there was so much work in Namibia, but there clearly is. So yeah, so I'd like to call up Melvin April, who is essentially, here we go, who is from Namibia Institute of Pathology, and he's the head of business application support. So first of all, Melvin, it's been a pleasure. For you, and this one is also for you, okay, and this one. All right, so Melvin, just again, it's been phenomenal working with you guys. We're very grateful that you guys also came up this week. I think another good success story is we were able to have some workshops this week with Melvin and Ananias. Where's Ananias? Okay, his partner in crime. So, and what we were able to do out of these workshops is we were actually able to listen to them talk to us about other problems that they need solving in their business. They like have this problem or this specific problem. And then we were able to talk around other features we've got in the platform. And essentially, they were like, well, that'll solve this and that will solve this. So essentially, the 2 workshops or 3 workshops we had this week, we were able to use as real problem-solving approaches for the future that we probably going to do in the next couple of months. So I'm grateful you guys came. It's great to meet you in person. We enjoy the work. We, again, very thankful that you trust us with your business. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of data, a lot of sensitive data. So we're incredibly grateful. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Yes, thank you. I'd like to say thank you to the OQLIS team as well. For we feel honored to be here, especially to Jonty and Nico, our partners in crime as well. Yeah. Like you heard, the NIP, Namibia Institute of Pathology, is a state-owned enterprise. We serve about 300 plus health facilities in the country. We have about 38 laboratories. So the amount of data we get in on a daily basis is quite huge. We've tried all the big players. We've tried the big players in the
Proof.
market.
Proof where proof was needed, right?
Yeah, and they couldn't answer our questions. So as soon as we had that conversation with Robert, I think he was very eager to meet us. He was even trying to drive to the airport, but we had to say no.
No, now I just sound desperate.
Let's rather have the meeting online, and then
I forgot about that. I actually did suggest I'll drive to the airport and meet you at the airport.
Yes.
Yeah, true salesman.
Yeah, we had that one meeting, and after that, I think also us coming from an IT background, also being developers, we just knew from the get-go that these guys can answer our questions. They can solve our problems. Yeah. So over the past year, basically, business, I think, can make proper informed decisions in real time.
Yeah.
That was our biggest challenge. Obviously, the speed and the costs that you mentioned there. Yeah. So we solved most of the questions from the business. I think us being here this week was quite exciting. We could learn in terms of what more OQLIS can offer, the very, very powerful platform. So yeah, we're looking forward to the journey with the guys. I think next year is just going to be a great year.
Yeah.
So we implement, especially the AI part and the IoT part. Yeah. That's what we're excited about because,
I think there's phenomenal stuff we're going to do together. Yeah. Great. All right. Thank you, Melvin, once again.
Thank you very much.